See, now look at this little innovation right here in the floor. You'll notice there is a small nubbin on the back of the door, and that attaches to this small metal piece here. So when you close the door, it locks in place with a magnet, so that the door, which naturally wants to close, remains open in a secure position. If it was maybe a bit stronger, it also wouldn't hit here. You'll notice someone's put a little dot on the wall so that even if it does hit, it's not actually going to cause any issues. But here, there you go, right? It's locked in place. Hoover I was left is wireless. And even to top that off, if I'm struggling to get into a corner or something like that, this is its own mini Hoover, which actually powers the whole Hoover. Now, I know that's probably not unique to Japan, but it does look like lots of the technology here is like that, with multiple functions, or one very specific function that it does very, very well. Because despite the fact that this is a handheld Hoover powering a whole tower Hoover, it still works very, very well. This fine specimen is also something of an innovation. Here, I can control the plug with a small dot. Now you'll notice there isn't actually a tap on this bath, and that's because everything is handled through this console here. If I want to turn my water on, I can do that, and let's close this. Then if I want my bath to fill, I simply set the temperature, maybe to 38 degrees. Then I click this button, and it's from here that water will start to spill. Now this is brilliant for a couple of reasons. One, it fills the bath to a useful level, and two, it also fills it to this temperature. And if you leave your bath turned on, which I am not going to do, because I don't want a bath right now, just turn everything off. If you leave this system turned on, it will keep your bath at the temperature that you set on the console. Let's say you filled your bathtub and you want to save the water for later. Well, that's where this comes in. I've got two pads on the edge, and they go over the top of the bath and keep the heat inside. The first time I ran this bath, it was far too hot. I ran it at maybe 45 degrees, maybe 40 degrees, not really realizing what that meant. And I had to put these bad boys on top, and they really, really helped, because in the morning I could have a beautifully warm bath. Truly one of Japan's most magnificent creations. It is a fancy toilet. It has the Butt Squirter 9000, which saves on toilet paper, is what I would say if you didn't have to use the equivalent amount of toilet paper to dry said butthole afterwards. But it is great. It's unfortunately raining up a storm outside, so my washing is not going to dry. So how will I ever survive? Well, this is an air conditioner, and it has a beautiful function about it, which means that it dehumidifies, which is what it's set to at the moment. So what I'm hoping is that all that moisture in the air from my clothes drying will be fixed by the dehumidifier built in to the house. Very, very good. If only there were a way that I could make delicious curry nice and easily. Is that delicious curry? It seems to be. Well, Japan has these pots that are, I don't even know, they're like some sort of OXO cube style thing. And you put it into the water and it makes a thick curry gravy. And it was the easiest thing of my life. Very convenient. Do I know what this says? Keema curry. I'm not reading the rest because I can't be bothered. It's undoubtedly filled with things that are terrible for you. Salt and fat. Like most Japanese food then. So, I mean, you know, you're in the country. When in Rome. When in Nanmokumura. There you have it, folks. Japan is the best place to live ever. It's the great... What is that? Well, Turns out Japan has some pretty stringent bin rules, which will change from not just prefecture to prefecture, but region to region. Our bin bags are different than the next city over. I say next city, than the city over, which is ridiculous. Also, there is a bin collection day, but there is nowhere to put your bin bags outside for fear of attracting insects and bears, which nobody wants that. So I have to live now with my bin bags inside, and it is my fault that I haven't yet bought a bin. But the bins here are also just not as big as the bins in the UK, and I can't put them anywhere. Do you know what goes in a bin? Food waste. Little bits of things that I've chopped up or that have been left over or whatever. Do you know what happens to food waste when it gets to 36 degrees in your house? It smells bad. It smells very, very bad. And now here I am, tormented by my own errors and mistakes. The smell of rotting chicken. Thank you, Japan, for being so convenient. If I was to ask you where mayonnaise comes from in the UK, you'd probably say a bottle. So if you're looking around a store, you're probably not going to assume that this plastic bag contains mayonnaise. But as it turns out, this plastic bag does contain mayonnaise. The bottle is inside the plastic bag. Why? Why is it like this, Japan? And it's not just this, it's everything. The fine example here is a plastic bag. When I picked up the product, was there a plastic bag on it? No. It was in a plastic... What? This is impossible to do. It was in a plastic container. Like this. When I got to the checkout, they put a plastic bag onto the product. Why? Why, Japan? Okay, so I've just got back from shopping from what we call an A-coupe or an A-cop, or however they say it over here. I don't really know. Here is some sushi. You notice 863 yen, so about £5 maybe for this beautiful platter of supermarket sushi. Now this is what really throws me off. First off, stop putting fake grass in your products. Weird. But secondly, it just seems like such a beautiful selection for such a cheap price compared to the UK. And when a single pepper is costing me about £1, I wonder how this is costing £4. Like, is this 4 peppers? Is that what you're trying to say in terms of value? I don't know. So, sat on the floor because I have no better, comfier option. The chair to my left is entirely broken. I am going to review for you now some sushi. So, the rice is much better. The fish is much better. In general, so far, the quality. This in the UK, I imagine would probably be like a tenner from some sort of online delivery service menu. Here in Japan, £4 from the shop. So here in my hand I have a piece of plastic, which in the UK would be very clearly identified as either recyclable or non-recyclable. I have a burnable bag. They burn rubbish in Japan. I have a plastic recycling bag, which I've been told is basically just bottles without the lids on, and then a final bag for non-burnable, non-recyclable, like smashed glass. If I get this wrong, they will almost certainly kill me and my entire family. Now I'm going to try some Nachan orange juice. Oishisa Goku Goku. I don't know what that means, so I'm hoping that this is good, but it is a weird colour. There's some ice cubes in there. Oh no. They've all frozen together. I spilt some water in and now it's just one big block of ice. Cannot stress enough how warm it is here and how needed ice is. Oh, thank goodness. A 4th ice cube. Juice. It's kind of unnaturally orange, but I don't know if that's just me imagining it. So tastes a bit like Sunny D. Yeah, it's not as full as real orange juice, but it's kind of sweet. I mean, it definitely tastes like oranges, right? So I don't know what to tell you. Orange juice exists in Japan. And of course I could have an individually wrapped one-piece cookie, or an individually wrapped piece of chocolate, which by the way is the size of nothing. Air weighs more than this piece of chocolate. So we're gonna try this. This is Ghana. We don't have Ghana in the UK. We've got Cadbury's, of course. Seems it comes in 2 pieces. Who are you splitting this with? Oh, okay. That tasted a lot like a Kinder bar, but without the bit in the middle. Not a Kinder Bueno, like one of the child variants. One-piece themed cookie. Now, I've been told that this cookie is limited time only, so I had to buy it. It was inevitably going into my shopping basket when I found out that I could only buy this one-piece cookie now. It comes in a big bag, and then each of the cookies is wrapped in a piece of plastic, like most things in Japan, for some reason. The cookie is blue. I don't know why the cookie is blue. I quickly discovered why the cookie is blue. It's bubblegum flavored. Who looked at a cookie and said, you know what would really go well with this cookie? Bubblegum. Yeah, that was a disappointing experience. However, I think the second one-piece cookie can redeem itself. But you know what, this one doesn't even have a picture of One Piece on the front. The unfortunate reality of cookies. One Piece apparently can only be blue. It's a weird shape. Tastes a lot more like a cookie. So, Ghana, okay. Bubblegum flavored cookie. Regular cookie. Yeah, it's alright. Right, I've just had my dinner and I'm still craving a little bit of something. Amazingly, I bought some dashi stock and immediately lost it. I don't know where it is, so unfortunately I couldn't make the soup that I wanted to, but it was still okay. So I'm going to try these. Pretty cheap, sort of £1.60, £1.70-ish. I don't know what they are though. They look a bit like pork scratchings. It says katsu up here, so some sort of katsu sauce and like a fried fish thing. You would not believe just how hot it is. I managed to get a face towel. In fact, I got a couple of face towels because you need them. Okay, so these look like this. They're like little sort of, it's not focusing. Anyway, little crispy things. I have no idea what I've just eaten. It doesn't taste like fish. It does taste like katsu curry. Yeah, I can read none of this. I feel like I have to do the obligatory, I'm gonna try everything in Japan type deal to see what is worth recommending or not. So, I've got Ghana, Meiji, and Crunky. Now Ghana I've already tried. I've not had the full bar yet. I'm assuming it's the same sort of deal. So it looks like it's got a tab on the back. You pull open. And then we've got a chocolate bar in foil, which, you know, pretty classic, I would say. And the pieces, oh, okay, they're quite small. They're rectangular in shape, which again is pretty classic. Very thin. I don't know what the strategy for breaking this is. I have left it in the fridge. If you leave chocolate out in your house, it will undoubtedly melt and turn into magma. Okay, no distinct difference to the last time I tried this, so a little like Kinder chocolate, maybe like the chocolate you get in a calendar, like a Christmas calendar. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but it's no Cadbury's. Right. Palate cleanser of some excellently cooled water. And a dab of the rag. Right, this one, a little bit different. This one's in paper. So I'm assuming we just rip the paper open like this. Similar situation, we've got a foil which unfortunately has attached itself to my wrapper. Similar sort of squares with Meiji written in the middle. It's maybe closer to dark chocolate. Well, I bought milk. It tastes like dark. So far, I think Meiji's probably a bit richer. Probably has a bit more real chocolate in it. And Ghana, I don't know. It's serviceable. Now, Crunky. Similar opening mechanism to Ghana, so I'm assuming it's made by the same company. Which actually makes this a terrible test, because surely it will just be the same type of chocolate, but with crunchy bits inside, like a Crunchy. So yeah, we got similar sort of shape, but it's got crunchy bits. What is that? I've had this before. Oh, that's gonna frustrate me actually. It's almost like a Malteser bar. I can eat more of this one. Pretty good. Now I have to live with the fact that I bought 3 chocolate bars, because that means at some point I'm going to eat 3 chocolate bars. And I have no self-control, so I suspect I'm going to eat those 3 chocolate bars maybe now. Okay guys, next up we have pure potato. I can't even imagine what the ingredients are in a pure potato. If there is anything other than potato, oh dear. Well, it seems the packet could not stand up to the mighty power of the bald man's back. Oh, I did it again. Okay, immediately something different is the size of the crisp. This is quite big. Looks like it's got some pepper on it. Not as salty as a UK crisp. It is very peppery, though I do think that is the flavour. Another gigantic crisp. I feel a bit lighter. Maybe not as much colour on that crisp. They're pretty good though. Yeah, I could eat a lot of these. Are they UK crisps? No, but nothing is, so we forgive and we forget. Squid. Smoked squid. It smells rather gross. You know what? It's not even bad. The thing is, you get about 4 strips of squid for maybe, I think this was about 300 yen. It's quite expensive. I suppose it's the equivalent of like beef jerky. It's got quite a high umami flavour. And the smokiness really comes through, so definitely recommend that. Next up we have Anpan, which is a type of sweet bread with red bean paste inside. I've not had red bean paste in this capacity before, so I'm hoping it's quite good, but I've had a really long day. This is feeling pretty dense already. I don't know how to get the filling in, it must be baked inside the bread. Look at that delicious red bean paste. This is kind of how it's come out. It's good. I think Japanese sweet things with red bean paste tend not to be as sweet as British sweets. You know, this is no piece of rock from Whitby Bay. But it's sweet enough. I think the closest thing I could compare it to is like sugar beets in the UK. Not that I've ever eaten sugar beets before. Now, I've had a bit of a long day because of Takasaki Festival, but I've got some koikeya crisps. They are hot chili aji, hot chili flavour. And the quote on the front is important to what I just said. Hey, what's up? Another long day? Just try our yummy spicy karamucho and say hi. So that's what we're going to do. This is scientifically proven to wake you up. Dark crisp. Hi. In terms of flavour, they're pretty good. I would say that UK crisps have more about them in general, and I think I said this last time. The flavouring here is okay, but they're not nearly as spicy crisps in the UK. And there's not much about these other than spice. When I inevitably become the fattest person in Japan because of all the snacks that I've been eating, I will have the excuse that I did it for content, so there's at least that. Now, what I've got this morning is I've got Look Alamo chocolate and Dar's milk, whatever that means. I've also got banana flavor doru roll, so I'm gonna give these a go. Now, I found these in the shop. It's got a little panda on the side. I don't really, this one has come in a packet. I don't know if it's broken already. I'm not sure I've ever seen a chocolate like this before. It's very strange. Okay, this is so weird. So it comes in a box, then it comes in a packet, which is then on a tray, and in that tray are the little pieces of chocolate. So unlike the other chocolates that I've had where they're individually wrapped, this is one set, but they're like, you don't have to break it off for a piece. So we're gonna give Dar's milk a try. There's not a great deal of flavour in this. It tastes like really bad Magic Stars or Calendar chocolate. If you want my advice, buy something else. Now, this one caught my attention because it's bright yellow. It also has fruit on the front, and I don't know why. This one you seem to open from the back. We've got a similar sort of situation here with a little tray of chocolate, I guess. Okay. Oh, this is maybe made by the same company. Is that Fujiya? No? Oh, I don't know. Similar situation, comes in a tray, there's different pieces. These ones do have different things written on the front. It's not very clear which one's which. No idea, but from the looks of things, they might have something inside, so. See there, it's got a filling. I think this one is supposed to be imitating pineapple. There's
doesn't really taste like pineapple. I suppose it tastes a bit like pineapple. Strawberry. I think the pattern's going to hold true here. There's a lot of chemicals going on here. I think there's a big difference between what the UK is allowed to use in their food products and what other countries are allowed to use. And so this makes a lot of sense. I would expect real fruit inside these. It doesn't taste like that's what this is. Banana? No. You don't need to buy this. You can simply survive without needing to eat that. It's not great. Which is a shame, so I was looking forward to it. Now, banana roll. It comes pre-sliced, which is interesting, and kind of looks like Japanese bread in a way, where it doesn't have a crust. So when you go to a convenience store or something like that and you buy a sandwich, it probably won't have a crust on. This looks quite similar. Looks like we've got some banana filling on the inside. It's very soft. Okay, that's much better. I think I might have a second one of those. I'm genuinely starting to question my life choices at this point because I've just acquired another snack. And the problem is that when you have snacks in the house, you have to eat them. Those terrible chocolates that I've just gone through, I had to eat them. And it was a painful process that was the only snack in the house. And I don't snack on sugary things really, or I didn't before I came to Japan, but this is a melon pan. Pan means bread in Japan. Melon means melon. So I don't know, I'm assuming this has melon in it or some sort of jam or something. There's that bread. Like a brioche maybe. It's a very sweet bread, but there's nothing inside it. It's just bread. Maybe it's shaped like a melon. Okay, very simple. I mean, that's it. Bread. Why am I doing this? It's just sugary bread.